Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you could strum through a song called 1985 by Bowling for Soup. And we're going to end up capoing this on 4th fret, but we're going to kind of walk through some things in root position. And it starts out with this cool little lick where you can play open A, and then second on the A, and then 3rd fret on the low E string, and then open A, and then 2nd fret on the A string, and then 3rd fret on the low E string, and then open A, 3rd on the low E, open A, 2nd on the A, open A, back at 3rd on the low E. So we're going A, B, G, A, B, G, A, G, A, B, A, G. So if you want to kind of follow that lead lick, that could be a kind of a cool way to kind of do that. And the chords that would kind of back that lick up would start on a G major chord. When we play G major, first finger goes to A on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the low E string on the 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the high E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now another way you might want to think about playing your G would be doing 3rd finger on the B string 3rd, pinky on the high E string 3rd. That might be a cool way to kind of play the G too. And then from the G on our intro and our verse, we're going to be going to a C major chord. We're going to play C major. First finger goes to the B string on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the D string on the 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the A string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the A string with the high E string, that sounds a C major chord. That sounds really, really happy. Now another way you might want to play your C would be playing a C major 9, where you do your first finger on the D string 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the A string 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the B string 3rd fret, and the pinky on the high E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major 9. So you want to think about that for your C chord. And then from the C, we'd be going to an E minor chord. When we play E minor, first finger goes to the A string on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the D string 2nd fret, and if you strum all those together, that sounds an E minor chord, and it sounds really sad. Now you may also want to kind of take the 3rd finger and add them in on the B string 3rd fret, pinky on the high E string 3rd fret, and that sounds an E minor 7. So you want to kind of think about that. That can make that kind of that G to C to E minor change a little bit easier, not having to move 3 and 4. And then we go to a D major chord. When we play D major, first finger goes to the G string on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the high E on the 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord. That sounds really, really happy. And that's a lot of our intro and our verses, kind of that G, C, E minor, D. And one way you could kind of work that is to kind of just do 8 downs on each one. And there are definitely parts of the song that kind of sound like that, where E minor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, D. And I'm kind of adding in some right hand muting to that. So I'm kind of taking the flat of my right hand and just kind of laying it down on top of the strings. So if you want to sound really powerful, this can be a cool way to do it. But a lot of times to support my voice, I like using something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the G and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. So we tried that through our intro verse. We had G, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, down, up, E minor, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, down, up, E minor, down, down, up. Now you might also want to think about kind of doing down ups and kind of killing the strings, because there's definitely some parts of the song that sound like that too, so you might want to kind of play around with that too. And there's these cool hits at the end of our verse that get paralleled in the chorus, where you take the D and you kind of do it down up, kill it, down up, down up, kill it, down up. So these pushes, or you can do that with down up, depending on how you're feeling. And then from there, then we'd be going and repeating that until we get to our chorus part. And our chorus is like a variation on that, where we substitute in an F major instead of the D chord. And there's a couple different ways you might want to play the F major. If you know the bar F major, you could do your first finger across the entire 1st fret, 2nd finger on the G string 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the A string 3rd fret, and the pinky on the D string on the 3rd fret. If you strum all those together, it sounds an F major bar chord. But you could take little pieces of this and make a couple other chords actually. You could do just an F5 power chord, where you do first finger on the low E string 1st fret, 3rd finger on the A string on the 3rd fret, and that's a little piece of the F called F5. So if you want to think about using that for your F. Or you could take the first finger and go to the B string 1st fret, 2nd finger on the G string 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the D string 3rd fret, and you could kind of strum the D string to the high E string, and that sounds an F major 7, so you want to think about using that too. And it's really just this little variation where we're kind of substituting in for the G and the C and the E minor, the F major chord. And there's another F you could use where you could do the first finger on the G string 2nd fret, second finger on the D string on the 3rd fret, and then you leave the 3rd finger on the B string 3rd, pinky on the high string 3rd. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, then that sounds like F major 13. So you may want to kind of think about that for that change too, especially if you're kind of digging on the drone voicings. That could be kind of a cool way to kind of work the F through the song. And then we end up kind of tagging that with those same down up kind of ideas we were doing for our theme. And then sometimes there's psych outs where you just do it 3 times. Stop! So you may want to watch out for those. Now the weird part is to play along with Bowling for Soup. Instead of starting on a G major chord, they're starting on a B major chord. So to play along with the recording, what you want to do is take a capo, and you put the capo on 4th fret. Then now your G major is really a B major, your C major is really an E major chord, your E minor is really a G sharp minor chord, and the F major is really an A major chord. But to take it from the very beginning, you may want to kind of kick it off with kind of that intro lick. So that might be kind of a cool way to kind of tip people off to, oh my gosh, they're going to play 1985, I love this song. So that might be a cool way to kick it off. Or you could just work the chord progression. You could do that with just those downs, the G, C, E minor, D. Or you could do the down, down, up, and have G, down, up, down, up, C. And then from there, then we go right back into kind of our verse again. So we're back to kind of our G, down, up, C, down, up, B minor, down, up, D, down, up. Or you could be doing that with just the downs, right? Kind of doing A downs, E minor, D, and at the end of the verse, you kind of hear where it definitely kind of takes to that kind of feel. Or you might want to try and add basses to what we're doing. So you could take the G and kind of work the low E string for your bass and keep the down, up, down, up. That could be another cool way to work it. And then the C would have the A string for your bass. Your E minor would have the low E string for the bass. D would have the D string for the bass. And when you get the F, if you're doing the bar F, it'd have the low E string for the bass. On the F major 7 and the F major 13, you'd have the D string for the bass on those chords. So if we tried our bass down, up, down through that next verse, we'd have G with low E bass, down, up, down, C with an A bass, down, down, E minor, low E bass, down, down, D with an E bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, E minor, low E bass, down, down, D. But then you may want to kind of follow that kind of that feel change to kind of the downs. And at the very end of the verses, you kind of hear where those punches are. And the G, C, E minor, and then you got your D hits. You got the D, D, D. And then from there, then we go back into our first chorus. So if we tried that with just a down, down, up, down, up. G, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, down, up, E minor, down, up, F, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, E minor, down, up, F. So you got your hits on the last F. Or we could try that with a bass down, up, and have G with low E bass down, down, C with an A bass down, down, E minor, low E bass down, down, F with a bass down, down, G with low E bass down, down, C with an A bass down, down, E minor, low E bass down, down, up, F, kind of doing the down ups. And then from there, then we'll be going back into our verse part. Something else that you'll kind of hear through the tune is there's almost like this reggae thing in the guitar part at one point, where you could work it as kind of a down, up, kill it, up, kind of a down, up. So kind of a G, C, E minor, D, C, bass up, 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 up. It's almost like a reggae or ska feel. C minor, D, G, C, E minor, D. But then you'll hear where the feel kind of changes back to kind of those downs again. So you may want to kind of alternate between those or put these together. Also in the background on that part, you'll kind of hear these little arpeggios where you could kind of break up the chords different ways. And what arpeggio means is just broken chords. So if you kind of, instead of doing the whole chord, you may want to kind of think about breaking that down. I'm just kind of throwing that out free form, you know, but you may want to try playing individual notes through that part. So that can be kind of a cool way to kind of mix it up too, right before you go into the next chorus. So then if we went through our next chorus, actually you could take a little piece of all these things actually and then kind of mix them up if you're kind of digging on that. And sometimes that can be the coolest way actually is to kind of figure out how you're feeling when you're covering it. So you may want to kind of play around with alternating between all those things and kind of watching out for those echoes. And then from there, then we're going into our next verse. You could really take a lot of all that stuff and kind of mix it up. Or if you got other licks, to kind of throw it around the chords too. That could be a cool thing too. So you can really take a little piece of all these things, that we're talking about, and figure out how you want to kind of cover the two. Stop. Bring back G, C. Then we got our outro chorus at the end. E minor, F, G, C, minor, F. That's the basics of how you can strum through 1985 by Bowling for Soup. So good luck!